the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow.
What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my transfer show, speaking about all things that have happened since the last time we did this. It's been over a week now, hasn't it? We will be back again with another episode, by the way, coming up the weekend, coming up next weekend, whatever you want to call it, this weekend, next weekend, whatever your preference is. More than likely this upcoming Friday, where we'll speak more about Manchester City transfers on a live stream. And I'm really hoping for you guys that that Manchester City will be able to get at least one deal over the line between now and then, so we can not only have something to talk about, but also we're getting to a point where Man City kind of need these transfers, don't they? The depth, if you look at Man City's bench over our last 3 games, against Burnley away, against Sevilla, and against Newcastle this weekend just gone by, the depth isn't really there for Manchester City, and it is getting to a point where we are 2-3 players short of what we're looking for with our squad. Our squad at this moment in time is stretched just as thin as what it was for last season. And we also have a little bit of not an injury crisis, but we do have a couple of players that currently are out injured, and there's a couple of players that have only just come back from injury. And so all of a sudden Man City need to bring players in. It is as simple as that. Really, Man City need to sign players. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, please do subscribe. As I said on my transfer update today, we're on a really big push now to 32,000 subscribers. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. As Anthony says, thank you very much for tuning in, by the way. It says our social media presence now is huge. MCFR, thanks for tuning in, saying City channels, they're growing quickly. They certainly are. JSGC's channel is also a part of that, I am pleased to say. And yeah, we're now less than 800 subs away from 32,000 subscribers. If you think back to when we first started this summer, we were less than 30,000. So to pick up over 2,000 subscribers over the course of no actual football being played is a decent do. So thank you guys for that, much appreciated. As I said, now we're on that really big push now. It's going to be really intense, going to be really interesting. There's a big final 10 11 days or so, whatever it is, left of the transfer window. So if you want to stay up to date, then of course I will keep you guys up to date, so do subscribe if you haven't already. All the other promo stuff, you can go and find it in the description. I want to crack on and speak about Man City transfers because as I said, they're just always so interesting, and there's always so much happening out there. So we're going to start off today by speaking about the outs. I want to speak first about Maximo Perrone. 1 second, guys. Just want to focus my camera a little bit better. I think that might just help. There we go. Anyway, so I want to speak about Maximo Perrone. I can see everybody tuning in, much appreciated. We will speak more about Jeremy Doku, of course, coming up. And thank you very much for the support there, much appreciated. Yeah, every single transfer update's been smashing past 5,000 views, which is, that's every single day, so that's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, we'll speak about the incomings and everything and all that stuff. So do stay tuned for that. So I want to speak about Maximo Perrone first and foremost. Going on about depth, sometimes we get to see Maximo Perrone on the bench for Manchester City, and he's going to be a player that is going to be leaving. So I presume that is going to open up a little bit of space in the Manchester City squad, because we do only have a small squad. That if we want to go out there and sign a young player at any one point, either in the what it remains of this window or in the winter window, or promote one of the young players, then Man City could do that. But if you have a look at Man City's EDS side and the performance, I feel like a few of them players are maybe a good couple of seasons away from being mature enough to be speaking about professional football, and going off the results. I would say that is suggesting that too. So Man City, when it comes to our academy players, is pretty stretched thin as well. The players that we want out on loan are out on loan. Maximo Perrone is going to become another player that's going to end up on that as well. I imagine Taylor Harwood-Bellis will as well. So there isn't that much depth here for Manchester City. So Man City need to get this right, so to speak. You haven't got anything to fall back on. And we need to, this season more than any other season, make sure we're keeping players injury-free. And obviously, Bernardo Silva coming back and John Stones being back in 2 to 3 weeks is a big bonus for Man City. And we're not playing every 3 to 4 days. So if we can keep everyone injury-free and get our squad back, then we should be in a pretty good position. And it is only, I say only, it's Kevin De Bruyne. He's arguably Man City's best player, out injured for 4 to 5 months. So Man City may want to address that in this upcoming window, but it's all about keeping the other players fit and making sure we've got a good, strong squad when we are playing every 3 to 4 days. So with Maximo Perrone, he's going to be leaving on loan. He's set to join UD Las Palmas, based in the Canary Islands in Spain. They're playing in La Liga, so it'll be a good loan move there for him. So I am looking forward to seeing what he can do. And as always, as I've said on my transfer updates, I will be doing, of course, my loan reports from March. I do them every March from the international break, and we'll be including the progress being made there of Maximo Perrone. So he will be leaving. Another player that's going to be leaving out on loan is going to be João Cancelo. A very interesting update that's just come through in the last hour or two. Apparently, Man City want to include an obligation to buy, not an option to buy. And City are going to put that option at 26 million euros. To Barcelona. They're going to sign João Cancelo. That's close to being done. And once that is done, it'd be really interesting to see if it is an option or an obligation to buy, because different sources are saying different things. ESPN are saying an obligation. Fabrizio Romano, who likes to base himself on reliability, is saying an option to buy. So we will see what happens with regards to that. Thank you very much, Viking. Do appreciate it. Much appreciated, Jeff, as well. Thank you very much for your kind comments there. And thank you to everybody that is tuning in. Much appreciated. I can see your comments. That is much appreciated. And we will touch on some of the stuff that's been mentioned in the comments as well, because there's not really too much else. Someone asked before, see if I can find it, an update on Calvin Phillips. There we go, the formidable. Thanks very much for tuning in, saying Phillips, and wanting an update on Calvin Phillips. I will address more in my daily transfer updates, in particular in tomorrow's update, where I'll dig a little bit more into detail. But if you're not aware, Liverpool are currently getting linked with Calvin Phillips, and the stance has always been pretty clear from Calvin Phillips, from Man City. They want him to do a second season. They want to see how he does. Once you get an answer to that, Man City will assess again with Calvin Phillips. This is the biggest season for Calvin Phillips. Man City are looking a bit short when it comes to midfielders. Calvin Phillips really needs to step up. He should be given his opportunity. I think the biggest problem that we've got right now when it comes to Calvin Phillips is I don't think Pep Guardiola trusts him that much. And he's a good option to have for Man City for our depth. But as I said, we're currently maybe 2 or 3 players short in our depth for other positions. But we do have an option there with Calvin Phillips. I will be amazed if we sell Calvin Phillips to Liverpool. I will be amazed if we allow Calvin Phillips to leave this late into the window, because it means that rather than and ahhing about a central midfielder, we will need a central midfielder, and they are not cheap. That's the problem that we are facing right now. So what are we going to do? That is the big question. Obviously, Lucas Paqueta, it's off. The deal isn't happening. These betting allegations have come out. And so with that, it means that Manchester City need to look at alternatives. We've been getting linked with every name under the sun that I've been trying my best to keep up to date with. Florian Wirtz is one player from Bayer Leverkusen that's been getting linked with Manchester City. A decent player. I know there's some concern about injuries. Man City are more concerned about a price. Apparently, City have been quoted over 100 million euros, which Man City aren't going to be spending in this window. If we're going to spend 100 plus million euros on a player, it more than likely is going to be a case that you can only afford to make one big signing and then add a couple of bits of quality around that, where you're spending 20, 30, 40 million pound on players like we have with Kovacic, like we may do with Jeremy Doku. They're not expensive signings. And obviously Joško Gvardiol arriving is Man City's big expensive signing for this summer. And I think it's for another video for me to argue, did City need that signing this summer? Should we have been focusing elsewhere? But at the end of the day, we've missed out on option A, B, C when it comes to our central midfielders. So there we go. It is what it is. Jeff, thanks so much for the $199 donation. Much appreciated. Helping to support the future content created here on the JSGC channel. Much appreciated. And a big shout out to you. Says, love to see you in typical City combined with a watch along. Do you know what? I am open to doing some more stuff with more City content creators if they want to get in touch and me go over to their channel and vice versa. I'm happy for them to come here on my channel as well if anyone wants to do that. I know LB, big up to Lewis as well, going solo, leaving City extra. If he's wanting to do anything, then he can. Typical City, if they're wanting to do anything with me, they've Twitter, DM me. Make something happen. I'm just a message away to make stuff happen for City content creators. But yeah, City Extra as well. I know they're pretty open to watch-alongs and getting creators in on stuff. So I'm always happy to work with other City content creators to make things happen. And Jeff, thank you very much there for the donation. Much appreciated. I'm trying to think what other central midfielders. Danny Olmo seems like it's a no-go. I think he's a really good player, nice and versatile, would suit City down to the ground. I think Man City, they've been quoted £68 million. It's affordable, but he's available next summer for £51 million with his release clause. So Man City may want to just pay attention to that and maybe assess the situation. And I think the one thing City don't want to do here, we've missed out on Lucas Paqueta. It's unfortunate. City were closing in on a deal somewhere between 80 to 85 million pounds to make that transfer happen. I think this week would have been a massive week for that Paqueta transfer. I think an agreement would have been found this week. It's not going to happen. These betting allegations have come out. They're not going to just get brushed under the carpet. They're not just going to get sorted in the next 10 days in time for us to sign Lucas Paqueta. If it does, I think Man City will be all over that one, but it is complicated. It's complicated because West Ham are going to need a replacement. They're going to have to find the agreements and everything. It's not going to happen. And so because of that, Danny Olmo, expensive. Man City may want to make a move instead next summer for him because he's got a release clause and it's cheaper next summer than he is this summer. Florian Wirtz, he's very expensive. Apparently wants to stay in Germany because you've got the upcoming European Championships next summer, which are being held in Germany. He wants to be in that Germany squad and he feels like the best chance he's got of being in that squad is playing in Germany rather than playing in another league in another country. So everything's just very complicated. And I'll be honest with you guys. I think everything's pointing towards Man City not signing a central midfielder. And I think that's what Pep Guardiola's getting at when he says we're not going to be signing direct like-for-like replacements for players. I think what Man City are going to do is they're going to look at their squad, look at where's been stretched thin, who's versatile, who's not, and which areas may need more cover than others. Barella, a good option at Inter Milan. You can always unless it's Napoli, you can always negotiate a pretty good deal with Italian clubs. They drive a hard bargain. Agreements aren't difficult to find. They don't tend to charge, and like I said, unless it's Napoli, they don't tend to rip you off, so to speak. It just tends to be a lot of their transfers for a lot of their players tends to be anywhere between 30 and 80 million pounds. They're not yet started to dip into that 100 million pounds like you started to see with Premier League players from the Bundesliga. Spain haven't really started to dip into that either, but We'll have to wait and see with what happens to that. But it could be an option there, most certainly for Manchester City. Barella over at Inter Milan. We'll see. Could be another name that gets added to the list that JSGC ends up covering over the next coming days. So I think Man City, I think the direction that we're going to go in, I reckon, is we're just going to have a really good look at other positions. And I think the biggest position that we're having a really good look at right now is a winger. There's a reason why we've been getting linked with Bradley Barcola in the past. I think there's a massive reason why we're getting linked right now with Jeremy Doku, despite West Ham making a bid. The word I'm hearing from Manchester City's sources are City are very relaxed about the situation. They're happy with the situation, and they're happy because, as you've seen from the news that's come out today, that's been reported by Fabrizio Romano, Man City are pushing to make that Jeremy Doku transfer happen. But not only are Man City pushing to make it happen, this is a big hurdle that's been got over in the last 12 hours or so. Apparently, Jeremy Doku's gone one further and told Stade Rennais that he wants to join Manchester City, which, considering there's interest from Chelsea, there's interest from Spurs, a bid that's gone in from West Ham, that's big news for Man City. The fact that he wants a move to Man City tells us that he wants to join Manchester City, that he's keen to be at the club. He genuinely wants to be here. He's chosen us over other clubs. I think is a big, big bonus for Manchester City. And as long as Man City are happy to pay the price that Stade Rennais are looking for, then this is very much a very doable transfer. And according to Fab, he's saying, and TalkSport have matched that as well, Man City are working on a package, 55 to 60 million euros. We're talking a deal worth around 45 to 50 million pound. City probably going with an upfront fee of probably around 40 million pound with 5 to 7 million pounds in add-ons will be enough to make that transfer happen. It will be a record transfer for Stade Rennais. They get lots of money that they've not had before. Man City get themselves a versatile winger that can play on the right, play on the left, and it's going to free up Phil Foden. It's going to free up Bernardo Silva as well, and it puts less pressure onto them and onto Jack Grealish and Cole Palmer if he ends up staying at Manchester City as well. So to me, this is very much a transfer that makes sense for City. He offers something a little bit different to all of our wingers, mainly because he's got pace, he's quick. Jack Grealish, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer, Bernardo Silva, all very good at stretching that pitch, making the pitch nice and big, creating opportunities for midfielders, creating opportunities for Erling Haaland. You get a combination of midfielders and attackers joining in with the wingers, but we haven't really got anyone that's going to go like for like at the player that can do someone for pace. Cole Palmer's a really nice direct player. There's a reason why he scored in the Community Shield. There's a reason why he scored in the European Super Cup. He's a little bit more direct than what we've already got. Foden can be nice and direct. He tends to be more direct on that right wing than he does on the left wing. So I think that's a big, big bonus, I think, for Manchester City. And I think that gives Man City an option. And you're always looking for a player to come in who can give Man City something else. And normally when we talk about versatile, it's normally players like Michael Olise. That's not happening, by the way. He signed a new deal at Crystal Palace who can cover in attacking midfield, who can cover out on the left and can cover out on the right, and you can get different bits from these players. Whereas with what excites me anyway with Jeremy Doku is he is very much a direct winger. He will run at defenders if Man City can find him in space, and that's something that we've worked really hard on over pre-season, and I'm seeing it more and more as this 2023-24 season gets going. City are finding space for the wide players, and a lot of Man City's attacks do go down through the wingers. So when you've got a combination of the likes of Bernardo and Foden and Haaland and Grealish all playing, if you've got on the right wing, for example, a Cole Palmer, or you've got a Jeremy Doku, which is what would be Man City's options, all of a sudden you've got direct wingers who can get in and around, and it creates a bit of space. And I think to myself, I saw someone post this on Twitter before, or X as it's called now, according to Elon Musk. But it's Man City are missing a bit of direct play. You're missing someone who's not just going to stretch that pitch, who's really going to run to the touchline and then square balls across, drill balls across, something that Raheem Sterling, more so than Leroy Sané, something Raheem Sterling was very good at doing. And I think that would be able to get the very best out of Erling Haaland. And I think that would be a really good link-up play, I think, between Erling Haaland and Jeremy Doku. And getting him for a good, affordable price, I think, makes complete sense. He's got some great stats. He's got off to a really good start. It's very clear to me in Liga 1 so far this season, Jeremy Doku's trying to make a name for himself. He's trying to push to get that big move. And if he can keep himself injury-free and City can bring him in, I think that'll be a real asset. And for £47 million is what's being quoted. I think that's worth a punt for Man City, because worst case scenario, you've got a really good direct player on the bench as an extra option who adds a little bit more depth. In an ideal world, I want Man City to go out there and sign at least another player. I want at least 2 players in the remaining days. It's going to be very difficult to do, and City don't want to panic buy. Because they don't want to do that, I think that limits our option when it comes to James McAtee. I think it limits our option with Cole Palmer. City have already said they're not loaning Cole Palmer. I don't sell Cole Palmer this summer. I don't think right now, with how our squad is, I don't think that is the correct thing to do. And James McAtee, I think as well, is a really good option in midfield for Manchester City. Of course, you can assess it and you can see what minutes they're getting. And in January, Cole Palmer, just over £30 million is the price we're looking for. It's affordable for Premier League teams. James McAtee could be made available for loan in January if Man City are happy with the squad depth and they've got a better idea of how Kevin De Bruyne is doing from with his injury. That then puts Man City in a better position in the winter than what it does right now. At the moment, we need signings. We need, at the bare minimum, 1. In an ideal world, we bring in 2. It'd be brilliant if we get depth and get 3. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think realistically, Jeremy Doku will be the player City are pushing for in the next 10 days or so of what's left of this transfer market. Very interesting, very intense. So many names are being put out there. Man City always spring a surprise this late in the window, a name that no one has mentioned so far, not just in the comments, but at all that's been linked. There's always a surprise. 10 days isn't a lot of time to get a transfer done, but if Man City are interested and a club's willing to sell, then it is doable. But it's very difficult. The clock's ticking. What can Man City do? Let me know, guys. I've seen a few of you asking for updates. Florian Wirtz, expensive. There we go. That's my update on that. City interested. He's very expensive. Anyone that's quality, Man City are interested. Same with Barrea as well. City, when there's quality players out there, Man City, their names are being mentioned. Sometimes it's to do with boosting the price for the selling club or boosting the price for an agent to get more money for them or their client. Sometimes it's genuine and Man City are interested. Anyone that is good, that is offering something to Man City, will be getting linked to Man City, will be interested. It's a massive hurdle for Man City to move things from interest into a concrete offer and agree in personal terms. We've pushed really hard. We've got Joško Gvardiol over the line. It took longer than anticipated. City have been a little bit slow in this market, I think, but there is options there for Manchester City, and Chicky and his team will be working overtime for the foreseeable future for what's left of this transfer window. Exciting. Looking forward to it. As I said, do stay tuned with my daily Manchester City transfer update. Also, don't forget as well, I will be doing another one of these transfer shows with yours truly, JSGC, which more than likely will be this Friday for you guys to look forward to. So do stay tuned for that. Do subscribe. On that push, less than 800 subs away from 32,000 subscribers. It's free to subscribe. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Social media links, including X and also Instagram links, they are in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. TikTok links also in there if you want to go and follow me too. Email in the description as well if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. Also, don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. I can see a few of you guys saying hit the thumbs up, so that would be much appreciated. Please do leave a thumbs up. It lets me know that you're enjoying these videos. It lets me know that you are enjoying the content, and so it would be much appreciated for you guys. And finally, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to you guys for not just the support this summer, but for the creation since I created my channel, and the love and dedication that's been shown to you guys. You can see we've had a peak here, over 170 people tuning in live, which is fantastic. There's been so many comments. We've had donations. We've had people leaving thumbs up. We get all kinds of comments, likes and shares and stuff, and follows on social media. The support that's been shown to my channel has been absolutely tremendous. And this channel isn't anywhere near as good without you guys. And so I want to say a massive thank you to you guys for tuning in and the dedication and support that has been that's been shown to my channel. It is much appreciated. All I can promise to you guys is we will keep up the regular content. We'll keep up the regular uploads, and I try and make things as reliable, as entertaining, as interesting as possible for you guys. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, if you get any videos or any ideas or anything that you want to see, all you need to do, message me, put it in the comments, and I'll try and do that for you guys, because whilst at the end of the day it is my channel, it's also your channel, it's our channel, and what we all want is the same thing, which is Man City to do well, whilst going through that journey together for you guys. So thank you so much for the support. It is much appreciated. Another live stream Friday for you guys to look forward to. We will have live watch alongs back as well, I promise you guys, for our next game away against Sheffield United next weekend. So thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Much appreciated. Take care. Have a great evening, everybody. I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Peace. Ciao for now.